When the Apple Watch came out in 2015, I was worried about its lifespan. Technology can be quite disposable, with devices getting out of date in 2 years or so, and applying that sort of life cycle to a watch seems wrong, especially when a cheap Casio will literally say 10-year battery on it. But nowadays, Apple Watches have proved that they have a multi-year shelf life. So if you're planning on buying a new watch or upgrading from an older model, is the flagship Series 7 the one to get? The Apple Watch Series 7 is the latest update in Apple's top-tier watch. Starting at $399, the most expensive Apple Watch has been getting regular updates to its sensors and screens for a few years now. And this one is no different. The screen is bigger and more durable. The charging is faster. And the colors are different. But is it all different enough? The big headline for this Apple Watch is the bigger screen. The case is a millimeter taller than before, and the screen stretches farther to the edge, shrinking the bezels down to 1.7 millimeters. It means that many buttons and controls are bigger and easier to tap. And it means that there's now an on-screen keyboard. It's pretty nice having an on-screen keyboard for quickly replying to texts. But the keys are still very small, so you're usually better off using the swipe function. Here's something interesting. The Series 7 is available in 2 sizes, and they both get the new keyboard. But last year's watches don't get the new keyboard, even though the bigger Series 6 is larger than the small Series 7. What's up with that? So it's not just about size. And in fact, in most apps, the larger screen of the new Series 7 nets you very little. Like in this weather warning, I get 2.5 more words? Or in this messages thread, I get like a sliver more of a speech bubble? I'm sure it was a lot of work for Apple to fit in this larger screen, but the benefit it offers is really for those who need bigger text on their screen, aging eyes, but still want their watch to be usable. The screen stretch also moved the pixels below the curve, creating a refractive effect. It's neat when you see it, which isn't very often, especially because there's only one strange-looking watch face that showcases it. There's also this modular duo face exclusive to the 7 with bigger complications. They're those doodads that give you more information for moon phases or Starbucks rewards progress. Am I the only one who agonizes over which watch complications to choose? Actually, I already have trouble choosing a watch face. There. Yes, there. The front crystal, another confusing watch term considering the expensive models are covered in sapphire crystal instead of glass, is thicker now, which should make it more crack resistant. This is good because I bang my watch on walls, desks, and door frames all the time. The Ion X glass on this aluminum model is just as scratch prone though, so the extra strength should help reduce the weakness scratches create. Oh look, it's this video's sponsor, Morning Brew. Morning Brew is a free daily newsletter sent right to you that aggregates everything that's happening in the business, finance, and tech space. So instead of doom scrolling through an algorithm's distracting curation of the news, you can get a witty, relevant, and informative news update in an easy to consume format. Super simple, 5-minute morning reads from Morning Brew. Try today and get subscribed in less than 15 seconds using the link in the description below. Back to the watch, which, I need to plug in. No problem. Battery life is unimproved, but what is improved is charging. This fancy metal-clad charging cable can speed up your charging by 1/3 if you've connected it to a fast enough charger. That's great if you're a quick shower chargerer who needs the battery to keep lasting the day. However, Apple did also claim that one could get 8 hours of sleep tracking after only 8 minutes of charging. But in my experience, that 8 minutes was only enough to get the watch to boot, usually at around 8 to 10%. The thing died long before I woke up. Colors are another big change with the Series 7. Aluminum models have shifted in Apple's new direction. I especially like this green one. It's nice and matches this leather band well. But my concern with these new colors is how they'll match the other bands you may already have or soon will. Green and Starlight are not neutral, so you're gonna have to keep that in mind. And that's about it. The S7 chip is really just an S6 with a new name it doesn't deserve. There are no new sensors or industrial design, though that does mean that any and all watch bands you currently have will fit this. Cases, maybe not, this is a little bit bigger. But to me, it means mercifully that the Apple Watch, if you get the expensive models, has some longevity to it. Processor updates happen every few years, and the year-over-year changes are very minimal. If you're running an Apple Watch Series 5 or newer, there's really no reason to get this. And even from a Series 4, it's a harder sell, save for the always-on screen, a feature that stubbornly remains on the more expensive models. And yes, the price remains starting at $400. That's not bad considering the evolution the watch gets at this price point, but it's not a rush out and upgrade sort of situation. And it shows how unfair the cheaper models' prices are. The SE remains at $279 this year, completely unchanged, and the Series 3 is in its third year at $199, containing technology from 2017. It means that if you can afford it, you're better off getting this over an SE. But if you still got a working Apple Watch, you should still use that. In fact, if you want to spruce up your Apple Watch and really make it feel new, you can do so for a lot cheaper by venturing into Amazon and looking at the endless selection of cases and bands that are available. And these bands will even fit your Apple Watch Series 0. God, it's fun in here. I want that and that, yes! The Apple Watch is really just a very small computer. It's the bands that make it an expressive accessory, and the bands are easily interchangeable. This Series 7 is nice, but I've been using and banging up a Series 6 for the past 10 months, and there's really no reason to upgrade, even if the screen is so cool. Instead, I'm gonna look for a cool band, because that's much more exciting and personal, and frankly, it's the better upgrade. Thanks for strapping on this MAC address. If you want an Apple Watch Series 7, why not give this video a like? And if you're perfectly fine with the Apple Watch you have, why not subscribe? Now, I'm curious, at $400, that's a lot for a watch. What can you get that's not a smartwatch at that price? Pop the options in the comments below. I'm curious what you'll put in there.